People, you know how I hate to come and talk about negative things when it comes to this country. But I tell you, it's so much going on right now. And I know it's kind of hard to see anything positive. But I do believe that something positive is going to come out of all of this destruction, okay? I mean, it's just every day is something different. Okay, we have the borders being overrun. I mean, the borders are wide open, and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people are just flooding our country. The majority of them, when you see the clips, when you see the videos, the majority of the people coming in are young, healthy men. You don't see them with wives and children. You don't see them with them. You see them by just millions. It looks like millions and millions, and it's like it never stops. It's just flowing and flowing, lines and lines, okay, of young men. I barely see women and children. Okay, so they're coming here, and they're coming here broke. Okay, now, when President Trump was in office, okay, one of the things he wanted to do, first of all, the reason he wanted to stop illegal aliens, the number one reason was for our safety, for our protection, to protect America. Of course, they spun it, the liberals spun it to mean that he was racist and he was xenophobic, and, you know, it was easy to do. It was easy to spin it to people who were not critical thinkers to begin with, okay? So it was easy to do that. And plus, everything was going fine for everybody. Everybody was doing fine. Even all these haters, it was not one American citizen that suffered as far as economically. I didn't hear any TikTok videos or didn't see any TikTok videos. Not one time during Trump's 4 years of anybody saying, you know, I'm struggling, I can't find a job, the economy is bad, the gas is high. I didn't hear any of that. The only TikTok videos I saw negatively was from people that hated Trump was stupid stuff, like he's a racist. But it was never nothing that really had a impact on anybody's lives, that, you know, a negative impact. I didn't see any of that. So that was one of the reasons. And one of the things he signed, I don't know whether it was an executive order or whatever, but he also signed something that if anybody, even the legal immigrants, come over here, they need to be able to take care of themselves, not be a burden to the taxpayer. If you cannot come to America, start a business on your own and get a job, do not come here and get on social services, welfare and food stuff, because we had enough of that. So he had an executive order for those two things. So now if you look at the two things he was doing with this illegal and legal immigration, it was still to make sure American citizens were put first. Okay, even with the social services, American citizens were put first. But now, okay, we have Biden, who have left the borders wide open, and black people during the Trump administration, they were fed lies from their black pastors, from the black Democrat leaders, saying the reason Trump did not want any illegals coming because they were brown and black. He didn't want any more black and brown people to come here. They didn't say it's because what Trump was saying, he wanted to protect America, and also he wanted to check and put America first as far as anything. And then, you know, they spun the lie as they want a better life, okay? And so that sounded good. They just want a better life. That's all they want. But see, what the black people and any other poor American people didn't take into consideration when they fell for the lie that they were just wanting a better life was that they were going to get some of their stuff. You know what I'm saying? They were going to get some of those social services. So now we have black people mainly that I've seen in the inner cities where Biden has just opened the floodgates and let the illegals come in. The illegals have come into their neighborhoods and getting their resources. They call them their, but you see, it's not theirs. Because see, if the government is paying your rent, then the government owns that location. If the government is giving you free housing and free food, they can put whoever they want to in those houses and in that area. And that's pretty much what has happened, because now you got all these black people doing these videos or press conferences, you know, in Chicago and places like that, saying, now they're coming, we want to stop this. They're coming into our neighborhoods, into our spaces, and taking our resources. In other words, our free stuff. The free stuff that we have been getting all this time. Now they're getting it. Well, that's exactly what Trump was trying to do. Stop that. But they couldn't see that. So now they got to share that. So that's sad. You think about that. And so then we look at, Trump's 91 indictments. I don't know how many it is. They just in 91. He can be in jail for 500 or 600 years. I don't know if he gets convicted of all this stuff, which he won't be. But my thing is, what is the end game? So, okay, so we're saying everybody knows. Even 40% of Democrats have admitted that they believe that the 2020 election was stolen. Okay, it was stolen. I don't care how much of an expert you are. I don't care how educated you are. I don't care. Okay, the 2020 election was stolen. Okay, so now, and this is proof that it was stolen. Everything they're doing to Trump right now. Okay, if Biden beat Trump so badly in 2020, they wouldn't have to keep trying to put him in jail. They wouldn't have to keep trying to get him off the ballot. Why? He's a loser, right? A loser does not have to be taken off a ballot. A loser doesn't have to be trumped up charges. That doesn't happen to somebody who's a loser. So that's evidence right there. No matter what they say, you always watch what people do, not what they say, and that'll tell you what's really going on. So Trump won 2020. 40% of Democrats believe it now. Okay? So now so we see that he's wiping the floor with all his opponents in the GOP race, and he's also beating Biden. Okay, so we get nervous. We say, well, they're going to steal it again. And yeah, I believe they're going to do all they can to steal the election again. But this is the thing that I'm thinking about. This is what all these indictments and all these other things are doing. What's the reason for them? Is this: they know, okay, Biden has destroyed the country. He has destroyed it. Okay, he's destroyed the country. And a lot of black people who they whipped up into a frenzy to hate Trump are sitting back now suffering, and now it's kind of, the scales are falling off, I guess, their eyes, and they're realizing, you know what, I was doing pretty good under Trump. I really wasn't suffering that much under Trump. I was doing better than I'm doing now. Gas was cheaper, groceries was cheaper. My rent was cheaper. Everything was so much. I was doing pretty good. So they've been making TikTok videos to black people. TikTok videos saying, you know what, I'm changing over. And they're getting smart with the people. They say, I don't care who gets mad at me. Well, when they say that, that's proof that they did not vote for Trump the first time or the second time. That's proof. Because they say, I don't care who gets mad at me. And they're just coming out and saying it. So it's going to be more difficult because that election rigging that they did in 2020, that was sophisticated. It was sophisticated. Even Biden said it. It was it took a lot of people to do this. And the majority of the people that I saw on the videos and all helping doing the stealing were black people. Because see, they could convince black people that Trump was such a racist. They whipped him up into hate him while they were really being taken care of, while everything was going well for them. They didn't have enough common sense to attributed all that to the person that was in office. So, and they didn't have to focus on that because they were not suffering. So it was easy to distract them. What he's doing this to you, he's doing that, he's a racist. So they all volunteered to help steal the election. They said, you got to get him out. But now I think they realize that because they see what's going on, they see the polls, and it's going to be more difficult for them to get people to help them. Because what are they going to do? They can't whip him up into a frenzy anymore. They can't go to him and say, hey, we can't let Trump win. They can't say he did anything to them. They can't point to anything. And if they try to point to because listen, the whole time Trump was in office and they were saying he was a racist, I kept saying, what concrete evidence are they using to convince people that he's a racist? Okay, because he didn't do anything to black Americans. He didn't do anything to Hispanic Americans. He did nothing. But what I found when I would listen to the videos of them ranting and raving to black people who had been whipped up into a frenzy, some of them knew they were lying right off the bat, but there was a lot of YouTube influencers, just common people like myself, they didn't know. They were going by what they were told. So, but what they would always talk about was the illegals. When they said Trump was racist, the only evidence they ever used, and I listened closely because I want to hear, what do y'all have? He's putting those black and brown kids in cages at the border. That's what they used to say he was a racist. Okay, so, all right, so they used that. And it worked. And then they said his rhetoric, and they never said what he said either. We were tired of his rhetoric. Well, what was the rhetoric? They never said what that was either. They were just regurgitating something they were told. So now, if these Democrats get ready to steal the election again, and they go to black people, what are they going to point to now? They can't say, well, he's a racist. They can't use that no more, because what they were using is exactly what's harming the black people today, the illegals. So they can't say, well, you know, he's a racist. He put those, they go, so we don't care nothing about those people at the border. We wish they would leave. That's what they're going to say. So they can't use that. They can't use his policies. They can't use anything. So yes, I know it's still some black people that's still stupid and that'll help them still, but they know, because it was such an elaborate, sophisticated rigging that they did. I don't think they believe that they're going to be able to get those many people to help them, because they couldn't do that by themselves. They needed a lot of help. And so I don't know how many citizens they're going to get. And they use the black people, like they always do. They use black people to do their dirty work. The Democrat Party uses ignorant, emotional black people to do their dirty work. And all that did was hurt the black people. They used the black people to help steal the election. And how did that help the black people? Look at them now. A lot of them get homeless, getting thrown out of their homes. The Section 8 stuff, they're giving it to the illegals, all of that. They did not prosper at all by helping getting rid of a good president. So some of them have awakened. So you can't go to them and say, we want to recruit you. Even if they pay them, they're not going to pay them but one time. If they get a payment, probably. It wasn't an ongoing payment. They might have paid them one check to help them with this stealing of the election. So it's not going to work. So I think the reason they're doing all these things to Trump, because they realize, how are we going to be able to pull this off again? And another thing, when I went back to the poll, when I said even 40% of Democrats believe that it was stolen, if they steal it again, they're not going to be able to, nobody's going to believe it. Okay, we didn't believe it in 2020, but it's going to be a whole lot harder to sell that to the public, that Biden beat Trump again. That's going to be hard to sell, because he's destroyed the country. He's destroyed the country, and everybody knows this now. Everybody's feeling this. So I don't know how they're going to sell it. So, that's just my take on it. One of the reasons why they're doing all this, trying to tie him up in court. Of course, they're trying to break him financially and want him to be in trials, different trials, all during the time the election season, so he can't be campaigning. All those things. But what I don't understand is, what is the Democrats' end game? What's their end game? Because they've destroyed the country. Their own people are seeing that. So what was their end game to begin with? Because this is stupid to me. You win, you steal an election, you get your guy in, and then you destroy the country. To me, it seemed like they would have done something to help the country so that their own people wouldn't turn against them. So I don't know what the end game is. People say, well, still a lot of stupid Democrats will still vote for him. Yes, but a lot of them are not. They might not even go vote at all. Because a lot of people who are not politically savvy or whatever, they don't see no reason to vote. A lot of people said the very first time they voted, a lot of black people admitted. And these are black people up in age. It wasn't like teenagers and 20-year-olds. So the first time they voted was when they voted for Obama, because they felt like, hey, it's going to be a black president. So black people, the people that they need, the Democrats need, may not even go vote at all. And the ones that will vote will probably vote for Trump. So they're not going to get that many people. So I don't understand what their end game was for trying to do all this stuff to Trump. But all they're doing is confirming. They're confirming that the election was stolen. And they're confirming that they know it's going to be difficult to steal it again. That's all I'm saying. Now, all of that is still depressing, because how does that help us? Because every day we have to hear this news about they're doing this to Trump, they're doing that, the illegals. I'm so tired of seeing the videos of all those illegals just coming across the border. I just can't watch them anymore. People keep sending them to me. I don't want to see them anymore. They're destroying our country. And I don't know, people. I don't know what we're going to do. I've already said what it's going to take to get our country back. A lot of people don't like to hear that, but that is the only way, people. Because they don't care anything about us. They don't care anything about their constituents. Even the Republicans don't care anything about it. Do you know that 20 Republicans voted not to censor, what's that woman's name? Tlaib, that Muslim woman. Republicans said, don't censor her. But every time they turn around, they voted against Trump to do something to him, to impeach him, to do this to him. He's guilty of everything. But whenever Democrats do something wrong, they won't punish them. The Republicans, all the Democrats will join in and hurt Trump or any other Republican. But when Democrats do something wrong and the Republicans have the power to punish them, they won't do it. They won't do it. So, really, I don't know what's going to happen in 2024. I have no idea, but I know a lot of things have been exposed. If nothing else, and that's not even a good thing, if nothing else of all of this, what they're doing to Trump is they're exposing. The FBI even admitted that there's gaps in their security. You know why so many gaps? Because they spend all their time after citizens, after Trump and Republicans and American citizens, instead of doing their job that they've been paid to do. So terrorism, terrorist attacks. How many terrorists have come across that border? Some of them admitted that that's how they got in. They said, we're going to go across and come through the southern border because they see how easy it is. But they put the FBI director on the spot, and he admitted. So you see what I'm saying? So there's nothing positive about any of this except that everything is being confirmed. Everything that we, the people that were paying attention, were saying is just being confirmed every day. So, again, I don't see anything positive. I don't, and I don't like to talk about negative stuff. But that's the state of this nation, people. Maybe we'll wake up. I don't know what's going to happen, but I just wanted to get that off my chest because I just did this illegal alien thing come across our borders, the economy. I don't know, people. I just don't know, but right now, it's still good to be American citizens. We still, to me, we still live in the best country so far. And again, a lot of people say, I move to another country. I might as well. This country is getting so bad. That's what a lot of people are thinking. But see, we have the power to take everything back, and it's not in the voting booth anymore. And if we don't do something quickly, they're going to take our country, Democrats and Republicans. They're going to have all these wars getting ready to happen. This is done on purpose, people. This is the reason. And the one they really want, they keep talking about Ukraine. They want to give more money to Ukraine, give a little to Israel. And we'll get whatever you feel about Israel, that's your own personal business. But notice that they still want to give more money to Ukraine. Why is that? Why is that? So we're worried about World War III. The borders are wide open and being flooded with illegals. And the economy and the inflation is not getting any better. That's all I can say. Those are the facts. They don't sound good, but those are the facts, people. Have a blessed day.